Greetings and welcome back to Created by Chaos. Now, before I begin with what I'm going to be doing today, which is the Dungeons and Lasers floors, I wanted to go through a bit of my background. Now, back in the day, I don't know, 2010, I started to do some 3D printing, and I absolutely loved it. And then I was contacted by a company that wanted me to print some stuff out. I think it was the BBC that wanted me to print up some novelty holy hand grenades for a company, for them, for their anniversary Monty Python thing. And I made some beautiful holy hand grenades, and I've also made some holy hand grenades for a local lady for her son's 18th birthday. From there, I was contacted by a company called Games Workshop with the laughable, and I stress the word laughable, idea of making 3D printed terrain for games. So the first thing they sent me was this, which is a nice little building. Now, this isn't resin. This is, good old PLA plus. And look, for PLA, I think the print turned out really nicely. I mean, you can see straight through there. It's a very nice model. And then I was given some other files to print this stuff out, which is like a modular terrain for a game that we're doing at the time called Adeptus Titanicus. Now, it's all modular, and you can pop wherever you want to, this, that, however you like it. I mean, the game is essentially, titans, big robots wandering around. So the terrain itself, I mean, it's quite basic, really. It's just, this is like an imperial building and so forth. Terrain was just supposed to be sitting there and have the big stompy robots use it as shielding and coming around corners and so forth. Now, I will stress, I do not make these files. I don't know where they got the files from. That's not my department. I printed them out, sent them copies, and these are the ones that didn't, I sent them photos and so forth, and here we are. Nothing ever came of it, as it does, and that's like all companies. They may make 40 different prototypes and go with one of them, or go with none of them, or go with all of them. Who knows? So that was that. And the other thing they wanted to do was to make sure that this stuff was all easily packable. So we have a good old Ziploc bag. And what you can do is pop it all in. And because it's all one bit, not that it looks like it in the bag, but it can actually all be quite flat, so you can have layer on layer and layer. And that was their concept. Then a couple of years later and so forth, they told me about a guy called Nico Industries, which I think is absolutely amazing. If you ever want Nico's Industries, I'll try to put a link down below. He's got a page on Facebook. Absolutely phenomenal. The guy is Talent Plus. And I showed GW some of his files, and one of them was this. Khan's excuse me, plasma pistol. Now this, of course, is a bit too small. I can't even get my finger in there. So I reprinted this, I think about 50% bigger, and it's now massive. It's huge. If you've seen my Facebook page, you've seen Khan's axe in 1-to-1 scale in all its glory, with the skulls on it and so forth. It looks phenomenal, and it disturbingly doesn't weigh that much. It's quite light. It's a humongous two-handed axe. Gorechild is not a small thing. So then, after many, many years, I got contacted by them again, and they wanted me to now make and print some other stuff, which I'm in the process of doing now. But anyway, we are here to talk about these. Now, I had some problems. I was painting all sorts of different designs, trying different satchels. I quite liked this, but it was too time consuming. I tried it with a bit of green and so forth, and I tried floor tiles, all sorts of different ones, trying to get a nice look. And what I wanted was something that was quick and easy to do, And that was quick and easy to do, but I don't know, for a dungeon tile, not really. And I had these ones, these brown ones, and I liked it, but it wasn't quite there, I thought. So, and while I like the flocks and so forth, and yeah, they store pretty easy, I wanted something I could just easily pop down. So, I came up with a different plan. Now, let me see if there's anything other interesting here. Oh, yeah, we got some blues and some different ones. Now, I won't repaint these because in any dungeon, sometimes you'll come across like ice, some acid or some slippery goo on the floor or whatever, or frost. So these can be used for those sort of tiles. And if they're not used for those sorts of tiles, what I'll just say to my players is just ignore it. It's there for later on. So that'll work to my advantage. So, yeah, I've got extra tiles there that, will be used for specialist bits and pieces. That said, I've also got on order Dungeons and Lasers number 3. And I'm excited. There are sewer systems, there's multi-layers, there's all sorts of things. So it will be interesting. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a little cup and we're going to get our paint here. Now, I would like to add a little safety tip. Whenever I open these things up these days, I have a tendency to scrape off all the excess crud from it and scoop out as much as I can each time. Now, the reason why is I had a nasty habit of sticking this thing in my gob and popping it off. Now, it's a nasty habit, and a friend of mine in America did it and lost a tooth. So that's a bad point for personal oral hygiene, and also the fact of look after your paints. So, anyway, if you can do that, guys, it'll save you time as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a reasonably small smidge. Come on, out you come. There we go. Not a problem. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a wonderful day wherever they are in the world. Here in Australia, it's cold. We've got our winter going on. Australians aren't used to cold. Well, look, it doesn't happen very often. We have summer 6 months of the year normally, but yeah, I'm in a small room with a heater on, and I can tell you one thing, if I pop outside, I'm going to feel that chill. We don't get snow, but we get cold. Anyway, so we have a black, and then we have a brown over the top. Now, this is good old-fashioned burnt sienna, which I got from my hardware store, $2. Funny enough, that's where I buy a lot of my bases from, the hardware store. And that's pretty light now. But I've had that 3 years, It lasts a long time. So I put the black, which I normally do, as you can tell, I undercoat everything in black. Occasionally, not very often, but occasionally I'll do it in a white, maybe a grey, and very, very rarely in a red. So it's black with the brown on top, and I'm giving it a reasonably heavy dry brush. So then what we do is we just pop this. Now I'm just going to do these two briefly, so bear with me. So you can tell I've been painting, my hands got covered in paint. So what you want to do is you just want to give it a good wipe over. Not too hard, but enough that it's going to be noticed, all right? So... all right, for those, there we go. For those that are wondering, I'll put that straight down and then do another one. I'm not going to dilly-dally around here. Now, the interesting thing is these grates are awesome. With the ones that I've done, I've given it a quick coat of, lead belcher. And to be honest with you really can't tell. So what I've done is I'm doing them in like a gold or a copper, so they stand out a little bit more. Otherwise, it's just going to look like, a dark grate. Now, these I have to use sparingly with my D&D characters because they'll go, oh, it's a grate here, let's see what we can do, and go down there and find out. And even if I say it's impossible to get past it, they will spend days, 4 or 5 game sessions just trying to get down a freaking hole. So that one's dried, and as you can tell, as always, it's dried a little bit lighter than what it should. So give it a second coat. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to give it that sort of like, if you're an old person, you'll remember the wood paneling from your childhood. For me, I always remember it on my Atari. But, you know, a console is good when it has wood paneling on it. All right, so what we're doing here is we are just giving it another good coat. All right. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to let them dry for a little bit, mainly because I did one this morning and I was very naughty and I put the wash on too early. And as you can tell, it's just taken the cream up, and away we go. So I've got to wait a couple of minutes for that to dry. Now, a couple of things. Some of you are aware of the fact that I'm doing something for GW. I'm not allowed to talk about what it is, and it hurts, it really does, because people are being abusive towards me. And that's fine, I'm a big boy, I can take this sort of stuff, but some of it is really quite horrible. In, I don't know, October, November, you will start seeing some stuff being printed that I'm allowed to show videos of, but I can't tell you what it is, and that is just the nature of the beast. I have a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, and I also have had very good conversations with them. They have actually approved this video, so I'm really happy with that. This is actually the third video I've made. They were sent the first two and went, nah, we want more of this and less of that. And look, that's fine. That's, you know, they're the ones in charge. I get that. But what will happen is, yeah, I will be allowed to show videos of things. It's mostly fantasy. There is a small amount of futuristic stuff, but mostly fantasy. Some of it, they have had paid people to make commissions of and so forth. And, you know, like I said, I don't make the files, guys. I just print and paint, and that's it. I'm not management. I'm not even employed by this company per se. I have a small retainer that they give me and so forth. And if they are watching this video, I would definitely be happy with the pay raise. That would be great. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, that's enough of me rambling, but I will add one more thing. At the moment, looking around my shop, I have literally on one side about 5 feet worth of terrain, and on my left side, on my right side, I have another 4 or 5 feet of other terrain, and boxes of boxes and boxes of terrain. Now, if you've on my Facebook page, you would have seen lots of these things already. Like I said, I'm allowed to show photos, but I can't put it in context. So on my page, there is a lot of this stuff. And to be honest with you, I'm getting a little claustrophobic in here. I really am. I'm very, very happy when I can get a bigger place, because damn, I mean, I'm in a small place to begin with, but this is just, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. All right, so now 2 pieces here. They should be reasonably dry by now. So, now if you've seen my other videos, you would have seen me make washers. And these washers are great. So all it is it's an acrylic ink. Don't use alcohol ink, whatever you do. So it's an acrylic ink. What's that doing over there? And a few pieces, a little bit of detergent, and some water, and some of this matte medium. And then you just mix it all up and away we go. There's a video on there, just look at that one. And this is my green. I've got blacks, I've got browns, and I will be doing, I understand that this company is bringing out some purples, blues, and what's the other colour? It wasn't red, it was something else, something unusual. That's like an aqua, like I said, a different version of the green. So I was looking forward to that, I must admit. So, what we do is we give this, as you can see, it's got bubbles in it, a damn good shake. The amount I've used with this stuff, I'm not surprised. I might do another video on, hey, let's make some more washers. And then what you do is pop it all open like that. And now what I do is I do like a semicircle, sort of like that. Well, that's a full circle. There you go. That's naughty of me. Okay. Now what I do is just very, very lightly just sliding it in. Popping it into the little bits and pieces. Woof, de woof, 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 de woof, woof, woof. Oh crap, I did the woofing, didn't I? Sorry guys, when you do a lot of painting, for me, I usually have like a lot of, I have metal playing in the background normally, Sabaton or Bolt Thrower or something. And your brain has to switch off, it has to, because otherwise, doing 400 tiles like this, you're here for a couple of hours and your brain will just go to mush. So, I just repeat things over and over again, and woof, 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 woof. There's one of them. I think the other one I do is I howl like some sort of banshee or something. Anyway, yes, I'm strange, I understand that. So we're just washing this green over here. Now, the interesting thing is what I found was that when I was doing this, and the wonderful thing is that the green on the grill looked quite nice. So when I initially did this, it didn't look that great. It looked okay. And I was trying other colours and trying other colours and trying other colours. And I just was not getting anything I particularly liked. And I was running out of time and I was getting quite scared, I must admit. So what happened was I went off and had myself a cool drink, sat down, had a sandwich, watched a bit of Ren and Stimpy, and came back. And sure enough, they started to dry like that. Sort of the very brown look. And that's perfect for what I want it to be. When you're doing tiles in particular, you want the floors and the walls to match, but not match completely. So here we have that. So, it's not a bad match. It looks quite nice. It has that wet sort of look about it. And what I can do is I can flip it back over. Now this side will be done like this. Very sort of motted, sort of greeny, horrible. So, this will end up like that. And I think that's quite a nice look. So the side one was done because I needed it to get done for my D&D game. Side two, the black side, will now be done in a more detailed look. So yeah, these were undercoated, painted and varnished in 4 days. And today's the 5th day, and I've left them outside overnight to get rid of the varnish smell, because that can be a bit whiffy, especially in large quantities. So yeah, that's the end products. So when they start to dry, they'll actually start to change. And when they change, they'll get like that. It's pretty close now. But I was quite surprised. The brown really sort of came out very dark and disturbing, and it was very, very pretty. I absolutely loved it. Now, if you have any questions, please ask and put them in the comment sections. If you like this video, please like it. And if you want to see more content coming up in the future, which, like I said, I can show you, but I can't tell you what it is, you are most welcome to. I think that's it from me. I won't be doing another video for a while. I'll be moving into the new premises that have been given to me, and I will go from there. I'm more than likely to do some videos from there. There was one other thing I was going to mention, and it's gone away. There we go. No worries, this is Created by Chaos signing off. You have a wonderful day. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, enjoy your summer. It'll be back down here in Australia shortly. And have a wonderful day. If you're in Australia, stay warm, stay safe. And remember, always be nice, always be kind, and always be friendly. Mottos which I live by these days. All right? Have a nice day, everyone. Chaos out.